Welcome to Gideon Grammar Booklet Level 1H, where the student should complete 2 pages each day. In this book, the student will learn possessive nouns, sentence combining, punctuating times, and contractions. First, let's begin with possessive nouns. A possessive noun is a noun that owns or possesses someone or something. It can act as an adjective. So let's look at an example. Here's a picture of a girl. Notice her red dress. Well, since the girl is wearing this dress, we're going to assume that she owns the dress. So what can we call a dress belonging to a girl? First, let's ask ourselves who or what is owning or possessing something. Well, since it's a dress belonging to a girl, the girl. So we start with the words a girl. Next, we place an apostrophe and an S to make it possessive. Then we follow it with the someone or something that is being owned, which here is the word dress. So we are left with a girl's dress, where girls is the possessive noun. Here's another example. A game possessed by a boy. Let's try this one in a written sentence though. This is the boy's game, where the boy is owning the game. So we write the word boy followed by an apostrophe, then an S with the word game written at the end. The boy's game, where the word boys with an apostrophe is the possessive noun. Next, we have combining sentences. Sometimes you can take several sentences and combine them into just one. Here we have the girl ran, the girl was short, the girl ran quickly. Well, we have 3 sentences where they're all talking about the same thing, which is the girl. So we repeat the girl, the girl, the girl 3 times in these sentences. So let's take a look at how we can combine these sentences to make a shorter one that doesn't sound quite so choppy. So in order to combine these sentences, let's identify the main parts of speech in these sentences that we want to combine. First, who or what are we talking about here? What is our common subject among these 3 sentences? Well, it's the girl. So girl is our subject. Next, what did the girl do? What is our verb here? Okay, well, the girl ran. So we have the girl ran. Ran is our verb. Next, we have an adjective, short, which describes the subject of the sentence. So the girl is short. And last, we have quickly, which is an adverb that tells how the girl ran. So if we take all of the important parts in each sentence and combine them into one, we have a shorter sentence that flows nicely. The short girl ran quickly. Next, we have punctuating times. When punctuating a time of day, be sure to place periods, colons, and apostrophes where they belong. Let's first start with the colon. It looks like 2 dots right on top of one another. When writing a time like 7:30, a colon is used to separate the hour and the minutes. Here's an example in a sentence. Please be here by 7:30. Notice that the colon is between the 7, which is the hour, and 30, which is the minutes. By using colons in between the numbers, you're indicating the numbers are a written time. Next, we have period, which we all know looks like a dot and is used for ending sentences and abbreviating. Periods are important when writing times of day as well. Periods help to abbreviate. Here's an example, 7:30 p.m. When writing times, we use periods to abbreviate AM and PM. AM and PM are abbreviations for the Latin words ante-meridiem and post-meridiem. The Latin word meridiem means midday or noon. Ante is Latin for before, and post is Latin for after. So AM translates to ante-meridiem, which means before noon, and PM translates to post-meridiem, which means afternoon. So let's look at an example of using AM and PM in a sentence. Be here by 7:30 p.m. If the abbreviation ends the sentence, do not place an extra period at the end. So at the very end of this sentence, we do not add an extra period after p.m. Here's a different example in a sentence. It starts at 7:30 p.m. tonight. We abbreviate p.m. with periods in the middle of the sentence, and we place a period at the end of the sentence to end it. And lastly, we have apostrophes. Use an apostrophe in the word o'clock when writing a time. O'clock is a shortened version of the clock. Here's an example in a sentence. I wake up at 7 o'clock a.m. Notice the apostrophe in the word o'clock and the periods being used to abbreviate a.m. Also, remember not to add an extra period if the sentence ends with an abbreviation. Our last concept is contractions. A contraction is the shortened version of a word or words that uses an apostrophe in place of missing letters. Contractions are specially written, so it's a good idea to memorize how to write the contractions. Our first example is they are. If we shorten they are, we remove the A and replace it with an apostrophe. It then becomes their. Another example is it is. If we shorten it is, we'll remove the middle I and replace it with an apostrophe. So it is becomes its. In this last example, it's very important to remember that some words change completely when forming a contraction. Here we have will not. The ILL is replaced with an O, and an apostrophe is placed between the N and the T. So will not becomes won't.